Good morning, everyone. This is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you are not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. Today I have not the completed sample for it's a Family Secret Valentine recipe swap. But I do have my mixer page done. I do have some embellishments done. And I will tell you guys what it is that I want for what are the things that we need to create for this file. I did create two samples, and I'll share them with y'all. If I can find my second one. What did I do with it? Oh, it's right here. So I'm going to share that with y'all. Still got a bunch of pieces cut out because I'm creating a swap myself just in case I need to step in if someone is not able to do theirs. And the first one that I created was this one, and I really liked it. But the more I thought about it, the more I decided that I wanted to change it. And let me move that out of the way. So I created a file that makes a pocket in one of the pages. So I did cut out my page. I did it on my brother Scan and Cut because when I created my file, first I created it as an SVG. That way I could tweak it and all of that. So I created a pocket, an opening for a pocket, and I did create this layering strip that has those little loops right here that you can hang things from it. And eventually this will become a die, but not this time around because I already released the Valentine mixer mixer add-on. But maybe next time we'll have some different ones. But this is eventually will become one. And so I created the hole exactly where I wanted it to be. Because it's my own file, I'm able to manipulate and put it exactly where I want. So I created the one sheet. I put the slit where I wanted it to go, and then I created this one that goes on top, same size slit with a shadow, and then the one with the open work and all the loops. And then I did emboss this piece right here. This is the shaker piece, and then the piece that comes out. I didn't make it into a shaker. All I did was glue on that outer perimeter, the shaker portion of it, and the piece that it cut out, I embossed it and I added it there. And look at how gorgeous that is. And then in this beautiful red paper that I'm using here, it's a matte foil paper. I think it's by Crafter's Companion. I added the inlay here at the bottom, and also the strip right here. Look how beautiful this strip looks. So that's the strip that we just added. Now, some of you that ordered the mixer and ordered from this release that I just released, I actually put that strip in your order. I checked the names of who ordered, and the strip was in one of your pockets. You will find that strip added to your mixer. Those of you that didn't order, I need to go back through the orders and see who all ordered that mixer. That way I can send you that strip. And it'll just come in a regular mail envelope, like a letter, and your strip will be in there, and it'll come from, I think, Create Supplies, or from Create. Anyway, your strip will be in there, but I need to go back and look at the orders to see who all ordered it. That way I can send you your strip. Now, for this particular swap, I want you to create a page, which is the one with the tabs. Don't make it too bulky because we want to be able to add plenty of recipes to our recipe book. And it is going to be a Valentine theme recipe. And you will include a recipe that it doesn't have to be your original recipe. It just has to be one that you tried and you consider it to be a good recipe and that you want to share it with somebody. So that's the kind of recipe. I don't want you to just pick one out from wherever and just send it. No, one that you actually enjoy and you want somebody else to enjoy it. Just one recipe. You do not have to decorate the back. The recipient can do the back. If you want to, you can. It's totally up to you, but you don't have to. I didn't on mine. I probably will, but you don't have to. And so either you do the silhouette and print or type or whatever you want to do your recipe, or decorate it like this, create a pocket. And I have a very bad handwriting, so I'm going to include recipe cards, and then the recipe I'm just going to print it out, put it in there, and they can transfer it onto the sheet if they want to. So that's what I'm going to do. But this creates this pocket where you can slide the recipe in the pocket. Now, when they're using the recipe book, creating whatever recipe you shared with them, they have to prop this up somewhere to be able to look at it. I want your recipe book to have a binder, some kind of paper clip, something that will hold the recipe. In my case, I use my rolling pin and I put magnets behind it. So when I put this down, that will actually hold the recipe when the recipient is trying to create that recipe or bake or whatever it happens to be. I don't care what kind of recipe it is, as long as it's one that you enjoy and you want somebody else to enjoy it. So that was the first one that I created, but then I thought, I don't know about that. And I did dangle stuff on here and I removed it because I did a second one. So I'm going to share my second one with you guys. I decided to go with my Anna Griffin paper. So when I'm first trying out something, I see what works and doesn't work, and then I change it in my second one. So in my second one, I split the pocket apart, and the bottom strip, I added foam to it because I wanted the dangles to actually dangle on it. And then this other one, they still dangled because they were on a jump ring, but not as much as they did here. So here's where I added my bowl, I added my spatula. This was actually longer, and I cut it in paper piece it together and all that good stuff to make it as short as I needed it to be. And then here is the measuring spoons. I didn't have to do anything to those, but I did add like some puffy stickers to it. I love the way this looks. I love this little strip here. And again, this will eventually be part of this mixer set. So your mixer set, keep it in a bigger pouch because that's going to be growing for a little bit. I'm going to add different pieces to it. As long as I can come up with something that I think is really nice, I will create a die for it. No, I just don't want to create just anything, but I do have some ideas, and when I initially create something, I don't have all the ideas yet. It's as I keep working with it that I keep getting more ideas. So right now we have several things in the making that hopefully will be here within the next 3 weeks is what I'm thinking, but they're already being produced. I did not use my bowl here. Here's the sheet. Then I cut out a pink layer, and then I cut out the pieces that went in here in an Anna Griffin. Let me take out the recipe card. I did use my Anna Griffin paper. I am a big Anna Griffin fan, so I did use my Anna Griffin paper, and that's what I used here. And it actually wasn't a paper. It was a card from a card kit that I had bought from her, and it was big enough that I wanted the floral print. So that's what I added back here. So I cut it out in the red and I cut it out in the floral. But I saved those pieces that I don't use because I can mix and match with something else. So I inlaid the beautiful Anna Griffin paper. Then I cut this piece in the matte foil red paper and just put the outline around it. I did the gold strip with, again, the red that went here, and this is where these little pieces where you can use your scraps. This is magnetic as well, and my rolling pin, I did it out of the Anna Griffin paper, and this word love comes out from one of the dies from the shabby, not the shabby rose, the Valentine one. When you cut out the piece that says seasoned with love, the love actually comes out completely, and you're able to inlay it in a different color. So I really like that. Plus, your negative that you decide not to use, you can use it somewhere else. You know, I could have easily just embossed the love, the outer portion of it, but I felt that it wouldn't be as defined as if you cut it out and layered it in a different color. So I really like the way that is. And I love the way by adding the strip on dimension that it gives me more movement on the little embellishments. I even have two that are still blank, and there was a reason for that. I embossed this red foil, which is the same red foil. I just embossed it. And then I added a flourish from my Anna Griffin embellishments and a little heart gem right there. I love, love, love this page. And then for my recipe card, I bought this digital on Etsy, and it only has the hearts like the previous one that I showed you. I took one of my Anna Griffin flowers that matched with the paper I was using and just stuck it on there. It's not very dimensional, but it's got a little bit of dimension. And again, with the recipient, if they're they're doing this recipe, it's a magnetic, they have a magnetic piece that's going to hold the card in place. So I really, really like this one. This is my favorite. I like both of them, but I think this one's my favorite. And when you, I personally like the pocket. I love the beauty of the papers and all that, and just tucking the recipe inside, because if I had written on this, it would be real sloppy, you guys. So those are my two samples as far as the Valentine. But see, it's a little thick because of the magnets that are up here, but it's not bad considering it's 2 pages, because I didn't add a lot of dimension. Now for this swap, the requirements are, or the things that I want you to create, is one recipe page, the one with the hang tabs on top. That is it. If you bought the recipe mixer, that's in your set. And so one recipe page, Valentine theme, a recipe card with a recipe in it. You can do more than one card, but the minimum is one recipe card and a recipe. If your recipe is really long and they need to put it on 2 cards, that would be great if you included the 2 cards. So that's one. So it's this card. And then I want you to create a set of 4 embellishments that are big themed. It doesn't have to be from this set. It can be anything that you have in your stash that's big themed. I personally was creating more files, and that's what I played with, but I didn't really use everything that was in my mixer set. So it doesn't matter as long as they're big themes. So a set of 4 embellishments, and then I want a set of 4 charms, preferably baking charms or Valentine charms that they can hang on their mixer or on their binder or wherever. One sequin mix. I will share with you what I did with the sequin mix as I'm going along. And then I want you to create 2 baking themed tags. And that's all the requirements. I don't think that is bad, you guys. And they are due. They should be to me by February 5th. And if they all get here in time and fast enough, hopefully you guys will get them in time. If not, then you can also use them. As long as they don't say Happy Valentine's Day, you can use them all year round. So that's not a biggie. But as personally, I don't care. If I have to save them till next Valentine, I will. But those are the requirements. Now, let me share with you guys my sequin mix. I hauled these bottles from Target, and they were $1 at the bullseye spot. And you can't see the inside, but I have a whole bowl on the side. I'm gonna share it with you. These are not completely full yet. They're a little bit, maybe more than halfway full, because if I add more to the mix, that my original mix, I want to have room to be adding to this. That way the whole mix is the same. But I do have a bowl here that I will share with you guys of the mixer things, the sequin mix that I made. Look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? I love this little heart. Let me see. Look at that little heart. Looks like a doily heart. And that came in that mix that I picked up from Hobby Lobby yesterday. This one had, same mix had the word love in it. So there's the word love in a gold foil. I love the way this mix came out. But if I happen to add something else to it, I want to have room in the bottles to add more to it. So that's why I haven't filled them all the way up, but they will be full. You do not have to put them in any kind of fancy jar, your sequin mix in any type of fancy jar. I just happened to pick these up. I thought they were beautiful and they were only $1, but you know, you do have to make a very large batch of sequin to fill it up. So that's my sequin mix. Now I do have some embellishments, and the first one that I created was a hidden paper clip, and I'm going to share with you. The first time I saw these, my friend Carolyn created these in a shabby chic style, and I really loved them. That's the first time I ever saw them. I don't know who originally came up with it, but that's the first time I seen them. So I created I'm creating this die, and this is what it will look like. And uh, it's not going to have any score lines, but you will be able to tell where you fold it. You fold it in half, then you fold the one bowl up and one to the back. That's all you're going to do. So you end up with your mixer bowl. You can do it left or right. I am including a left and a right for the bowl. That way, I really don't like when I have to use one die for the back and the front, because you don't get that beautiful beveled edge on both sides, and I want to be able to get that. So I did include a bowl, a left and a right. So you're going to put your paper clip. The reason it has this hole in the center is, if this is a hidden paper clip, I don't want you to see it on top. My first one that I created, you can see it on top. On the second one, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to create a hole there. So when you slide the paper clip all the way in, and these are the small, regular, standard paper clips. You slide it all the way in, and then you create that. It's going to be less noticeable. You're not going to notice that piece of metal on top. So that is going to be what it's going to look, what the die is going to look like, and that's what you're going to do. But here are the two paper clips that I created. Look at that, you guys. So these are bake theme or cooking themed, and there's the first one. You can see the little metal piece right there, and the second one you can't see it because I changed the design. But look at that. And then I did use the same die to do the left and the right, and that's why I decided to go ahead and include the bowl as a left and a right. That way your project looks finished and beautiful all the way around. These are just some little things that I had in my stash. So you can use any big thing. It doesn't have to be the created to create design. You can, as long as the only thing that does have to be is your mixer page, because that's going to go in everybody's mixer page that bought that die. Another thing I created, you guys are gonna love it. I think you guys are gonna love it. I created some bows that are going to be designed as a shabby rose add-on, and that's going to have several pieces. It's going to have two different tails. It's going to have several layers. You guys are going to love that. You're going to have options. So let me share with you. Look at that beautiful bow. Now, I don't have the embossed piece and all that because the machine's not going to do a good job on that. But the die is being made where it's going to be embossed. But look at this other cutie patootie that I'm having made. Look at this little charm. When I said you needed to include 4 charms, I don't care if it's a paper charm. As long as it's a charm, a bake themed charm, I would consider this a charm. Look at how gorgeous. This mixer is the exact design as the large mixer that it's a Family Secret mixer. So it's this very exact same one, just shrunk down to very teeny tiny. So this is a bow that I would add as an embellishment, because when we create baked goods, we put it in a cello bag, and then we tie it up, and we want to put a pretty bow and all that on there. So I would consider this an embellishment. I'm going to measure that mixer. That way you guys know how big that is. I am in love with this little mixer. Now, I got this idea from Tony, Craft Purge. She actually bought some little resin charms like this, and they didn't they had the bowl hanging and the mixer, and I love that. Well, I couldn't get it here in time for what I wanted. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to make my mixer into a charm that matches completely, because it's the same exact design as your recipe book. Now this, from top to bottom, from the loop, measures, yeah, it's about 1.5 inches. So it's about 1.5 inches long, and then across it measures 1.3 inches. It's gorgeous. This little bowl, guys, it's about a 1/2 inch wide, and it's about a 1/2 inch tall with the loop, because it does have a little loop to hang your little bowl on the charm. And I did put mine on dimensional tape, the top layer. So for this particular die, you're going to get the same thing. You're going to get the silhouette for the that has the charm loop, but then you're going to have the little strip. You're going to have this upper portion and this lower portion. The lower portion and the upper portion, not the main tag, those you're going to get in a left and a right. So if you want to make your mixer look pretty on either side, you will be able to do that. And the cup, the same thing. I believe I did the same thing on the little, not cup, the bowl. You're going to get a left and a right, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that is, I consider this an embellishment. I consider these embellishments. And here's the other one that I created. Look at how gorgeous that is. Look at that. And it's teeny tiny. So that I would consider an embellishment. So right here would be my 4 embellishments if I wanted to. But then I went a little further. I did something a little bit different. I actually just put the dangles as a charm. I created the little mixer to be a charm. Look at that, you guys. Look at how cute that is. Again, I used scraps from my Anna Griffin paper that I was already working with. And these are the clasps that I shared yesterday that in my haul. That's what I wanted them for, because I didn't, the older I get, those little clasps just isn't good for me. So I got the larger ones, and I love, love, love the way these came out. So I did create a couple of these. So here are I would consider these charms, even though they're made of paper, but they're still charms. So that would be 2 of my charms. And I said 4 charms, so you could get anything. I had something up here. Where is it? You could get anything that is a Valentine or a baking themed. So I have these flowers that I just hauled. And even though they're not big themed, but they are like a Valentine type. And I picked these up to put on the bows. Before I created this charm, I had picked these up and they just came in. But by then I had created the mixer, and I like both of them. But if I were creating charms and I didn't have any big theme ones, you can do Valentine ones. So I would consider these a Valentine embellishment, charm. Anyway, guys, I believe that is all that I have to share with you all today. So anybody who wants to join the swap, remember it has to be here by February 5th at the latest. That way, hopefully I can get it to you guys back in time for Valentine's Day. And again, it's one recipe page with the recipe card. 1 set of 4 embellishments, 1 set of 4 baking or Valentine charms, 1 sequin mix, Valentine or baking themed, baking and Valentine. If I could have found things that I could put in there that were baking, trust me, I would have bought them. And 2 baking themed tags. So that is what the requirements are. If you want to sign up, there will not be any sign groups. I will just put people together depending on how many sign up. I would like for it to be a group of 3 people. And what I mean by that is that it would be you plus two more. That would be the three people in your group. So you wouldn't have to make one for yourself if you didn't want to, but you would have to make two swaps for your partners and send them to me so I can share them. If you wanted to create one for me, I would love it. If you don't, that's fine too, but just leave one open. That way I can share what you created, because the idea of this swap is also sharing and inspiring other people with your creations. So just leave one open if you don't make one for me. That way I can share it. Um, the shipping will be priority shipping. I'm going to say it's around $10, you guys, for a priority mail envelope. You don't have to send me the envelopes. I will order those. So let's say $10 for the shipping. Uh, and what else? Yes. And you, like I said, you don't have to sign up. I'm not going to do assigned groups. I'm just going to mix people up together. And we'll see how many people want to join in this fun. And then I'll decide how big, if I only have 7 people or 8 people sign up, I'm going to probably just mix you guys up and swap with, if you sent in 2 swaps, you're going to get 2 swaps. If for your swap partners, but it might not, you might get different people than somebody else will, because I don't want to make another group because we're lacking one person, or we just have one extra person. So I'm going to try and figure that out. But as it stands right now, it is going to be a group of 3, which means you and 2 more people. Anyway, guys, just put down in the comment if you want to join. I will put all the information in the description box below as far as the requirements, when you need to get it to me, my email address if you have any questions, and most of you already know my shipping address. If not, I will put it in the description box below as well. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.